Good morning. I'm Alfred Atanda, and I'm a pediatric orthopedic surgeon, and I practice in Wilmington, Delaware. Today, I wanted to chat with you all about my thoughts about how do we remove the barriers that are around us as medical and surgical subspecialists. What I mean by this is, in my specialty, your average kid that falls and hurts their arm or their leg is often whisked away to the ER, to their primary care office, to the urgent care, mostly because in the traditional healthcare model, it's impossible for that patient to get in front of me right at the time that they actually need me. My clinical office is only open from 8 to 4:30. It's not open on the weekends. Some days of the week I'm operating and I'm not in the office. So when they call, they have to schedule an appointment and they have to talk to several people, most of whom are non-clinical. So that's not ultimately helpful at the time where you realize that you've hurt yourself. So you go to somewhere that is open, especially if it's at night or on the weekend. You go somewhere that you go somewhere that's in your community, somewhere that's close by. And then you get, provisionally treated. You get some x-rays, may get some pain medication, a splint. And then you're told to follow up with me at some time in the future, hopefully the near future. And that's fine. And that model has worked for however many years for all of us. But it is a little bit disjointed if you think about it, because the patients, they're not going to the urgent care or the emergency room because that's where they want to go. They go there because they don't really have any other option. And, the emergency room, the urgent care, at least for the things that I treat, those places are designed for more kind of serious illnesses and other kind of medical things in my mind. And we don't really have a way to get those patients to us in orthopedics exactly when they need to be there. So what we've done is leveraged technology and telemedicine to find ways that we can move information and data as opposed to moving people, because the people go to the first point of contact, they get provisionally treated, and then they get sent to their second point of contact, which would be me. But why not treat them when they're at their first point of contact? And when I say treat them, I don't mean put their cast on or their splint on, but I mean provide them with the valuable information, guidance, expertise, experience, clinical acumen that they need and desperately want. Because getting a splint or a cast is great, but what you really need at that time is, how is this injury going to impact my child? When can he go to school? When can she play soccer again? When can they ride their bike? We're going on a vacation next week. Are they going to be able to go? He has school starting in 3 weeks. Is he going to be on crutches when he starts school? These are all the very important questions that plague parents when they, and patients, adult patients too, when they go to these places. And unfortunately, those places aren't very equipped to handle those higher level questions. And usually they get information that's very vague. Don't put any weight on it till you see your surgeon. Don't get out of bed until you follow up with someone, because, the urgent care, the ER, they don't want to be liable necessarily for providing wrong information. So they tend to be very conservative. But invariably that worries the families and the patients, just that not knowing of like what to do, what's going to happen, how does this injury affect me and my child. So what we've been able to do, which is very key, is find ways to move that valuable information without burdening me too much, but also allowing the patients to be in their medical home and be in their communities and be in those accessible places, because it is very easy for them to get to them, but it's not so easy to get the high level valuable information and guidance that they need in the traditional sense. And this has been very successful for us. We've been piloting it now, and utilizing technology to provide that higher level of guidance, so that when they do eventually follow up with us, they've already been prepped and primed, and I've counseled them. I've counseled that initial provider that saw them. So their expectations are much more reasonable, because I've looked at the x-rays, I've looked at their wound, I've looked at them, and I said, okay, well, this is this kind of injury, this is what you can expect. So when they come and see us, they're really just coming to get a cast or get their cast off or just get a quick look. So it also helps streamline the whole process of them when they're physically in the office. So I think that works in everybody's advantage. And regardless of the specialty that you're in, utilizing telemedicine in this way can be very valuable. It can be very helpful for everybody that's involved. So I definitely urge people to think of how you can reduce those barriers that are around us. And these aren't, purposely put up. It's just the way the healthcare system works. I'm not asking you to get up and go, open a clinic in your local urgent care ER. That wouldn't be practical by any means. But there are ways that you can utilize the technology that already exists to help to find find ways to remove and bring down some of those barriers that inadvertently exist around us. I hope this was helpful. Please stay tuned for another blog, hopefully a vlog, excuse me, that'll be coming your all's way very soon. Have a good day.